be the man to go into the last four of the Champions League. And you can hear it ringing out, that magical anthem that's just so special in the footballing world. And the fact we've been able to integrate into competitive FIFA this year has been even more special. Here's your first quarter-final of the day. AlanAvi against DrNightWatch. North America against Bulgaria. How is this one going to go? 2 legs of FIFA in front of us. And let's talk about these squad rules that have been implemented coming into this tournament. Champions League items have to be used. There are so many icons that you can use as well.
Soon as the game starts, pause, seeing what your opponent's matching up with. Nightwatch, it's going to be a 4-2-3-1, but I expect to see that changing into a 4-4-2. That's what he's been using quite often recently. A number of players have actually switched into a 4-4-2 with the squad rules implemented as well. They feel like you can get better setter players. You don't have to rely on 2 CDMs. You can play with a centre mid. You can play with a Goretzka as a box-to-box centre mid, as you see Nightwatch doing right now.
Well, here we go. It's going to be Nightwatch from left to right in that white strip. AlanAvi kicking from right to left. And what a story it was in Manchester for both of these players. It was Nightwatch taking down F2 Techs in the match that would bring you to Madrid. And what a game that was.
You'd probably say, given the round of 16 matches, that Nightwatch had a slightly tougher game taking on Tex, whereas AlanAvi was playing Mens in that quarter-final tie. But it doesn't matter who you matched up against, you had to win it. You could have been playing against me and you, Brandon, and it still felt like a big game to whoever the player was. And it's a 4-2-3-1 coming out from AlanAvi early doors. You can see the bench, Aubameyang, Son, Ronaldinho. If you don't know the squad rules, actual implications, you have to have 3 icons on the pitch at one time and 3 Champions League variants on the pitch at the same time. So if you're bringing off an icon, you can only sub an icon back on. You see the first change there, Alexandro off for Eder Militao in at fullback.
It's only 5 minutes into this game. As the corner does come in from DrNightWatch. You wonder why he's suddenly called himself a doctor. And there is a story behind it involving Dr. Ahano. Probably the only other doctor we know about in competitive FIFA. See the German player from Stuttgart. I think they made an agreement to see if he could get to the finals or at least the playoffs. We know he's already there now. 6-4 win against F2 Techs in that massive game in Manchester, whilst AlanAvi actually took down someone's brother that's actually at this event. He beat Mentz 5-4. Rafsu, obviously the brother of Mentz.
With a last-minute winner as well. Huge drama, tension, anxiety coming in to this quarter-final tie.
His name on out. Into Ronaldo. Elastico. Hill 2-0 into the finish off the post.
Tell you what, first 10 minutes, Nightwatch has been on top right now. He seems to have definitely calmed into the game a lot quicker than AlanAvi. I was speaking to a lot of different people, a lot of different players, coaches coming into this match. We said the first leg of every single quarter-final is going to be super tetchy. It's going to be very twitchy, very nervous for these players.
The ball. This is an unbelievable chance. Oh, he's just scuffed his lines.
Perfect example of it right there. Rushing your chances. Just being a little bit too frantic in the final third. If that's on Weekend League, AlanAvi takes a touch out of his feet, slots it past the goalkeeper. In Madrid, different kettle of fish.
I'm going to count it in total. 33 days from Manchester. 33 days for some players to worry about this match, to prepare, to travel, obviously go back home. We saw the mini documentary series. And we saw some fantastic insights to the livelihoods of all these pro players. AlanAvi brought his dad here with him.
Yep.
What an experience he's been able to share with his family. An ex-pro player as well. And AlanAvi did feature for a number of years at a youth level at FC Dallas. A number of injuries unfortunately stopped him in his tracks. Competitive FIFA was the way forward for him as Ronaldo will come forward. Maybe a change of hand with possession now. AlanAvi starting to work into this tie. 20 minutes into it in this first leg of the quarter-final. Live here from Madrid.
So fascinating watching this game taking place right now. They said it on the couch earlier, but with those squad rules, you're taking players just slightly out of the comfort zone. It's almost like going from boiling hot water just into like lukewarm. You're not throwing them completely into freezing cold, but you're just saying there's going to be changes that you're going to make with your team. Danny Da Costa coming in at fullback. 94 Neymar instead of the team of the year. variation.
Even the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo just dropping down one rated down his Champions League for item.
But the pace difference between the Team of the Year and the 98 Champions League special item is quite drastic. Dropping down to 94 pace for the 98.
As you said, these squad rules have had to question the mindsets of a few players, and you've seen the changes they've made. You've seen the Champions League variants that have come into the team. Speaking of the icons, only 3 of them are allowed at one point, but you have to have them on the pitch at all times. You look at the two different, you've got the kind of, you would say that the bog standard competitive FIFA, Vieira, Hullet and R9. On the other side, for Nightwatch, it was a different story.
Yeah, well, I think if we looked at every single player's team, they all had Hullet in the squads. Every single player had Hullet. Some people deciding not to go for Vieira, I should say, and going for maybe a Leon Goretzka in the midfield. Eusebio up top for a number of players as well. So it's all about personal preference. Do you prefer R9? Do you prefer Eusebio leading the line? You're going to have icons coming off the bench. Which icons are they going to be? Is it going to be Pele, for example?
Well, it's a great point as well. I know you are a fan of Eusebio this year and how he has kind of affected teams. We saw that all the way back at the first tournament of the year, back in October, the Paris Games Week.
It's a great ball.
Speaking of Eusebio, he's in possession now. This is Nightwatch on this left-hand side. We'll pull away from Rafael Varane, who lunged into the tackle there. He's going to have to reset and get back into position for him. Left back for Rafael Varane at this moment in time. Little dink up there, Eusebio. Well, as far as Mbappe, we've seen how effective crosses can be this year for a number of players. Goretzka, that team of the season variant.
Timed yellow, again, a little nervy coming into the opening 38 minutes here in Madrid. I think one thing to point out as well, only 2 weeks ago was Nightwatch in a competitive tournament. It was in Bucharest for the final LQE of the season. He tested and tried a number of these Champions League players in his squad. He got knocked out of the tournament, 2 F2 techs on that occasion, but he watched the footage back and he said that he learned from the gameplay.
Well, a few players here, didn't they, that were qualified for this final, the likes of Chris Rafsu and Dr. Nightwatch. They used some of those Champions League for items that you did mention, just for practice to see who would fit into the team, who would be good. And a few players tried out Aurier at right back, and that wasn't a brave choice for a few.
Yeah. Pretty woeful touch from Danny Da Costa over at right back there. Don't need to tell him. Don't need us to tell him.
2 minutes added time.
Added time of 2 minutes. Still goalless in this first leg of the Champions League qualifier. The quarter-final, I should say, the first one of the day. Remember, we have still got the likes of Joksan Zizinho, Lev Vinken against Marcuso.
Going into half-time, what we expected, I'd say. I spoke to different analysts coming into the tournament. They said if any of the quarterfinals were probably going to go to a penalty shootout, they're back to this one. Not only because both of these players, if you look at the score lines that usually win by, it's usually a goal, maybe 2 goals, but also it's the first game of the day. Other people are going to be watching this. They're going to feel more relaxed as more people get knocked out of the tournament. These two coming into this game right now, you can see the nerves
I can definitely see it on the face of AlanAvi. I spoke to Nightwatch just before we got into our caster's booth to commentate this one. I was like, "Are you feeling nervous?" And he was like, I've never felt this nervous before for a game. You know, for Champions Cups, I felt nervous, but this is a new level of nerves.
I mean, perfect example. AlanAvi, very charismatic, very outgoing character. I went down into the players' lounge. I said, "Hi, you all right, Alan?" "Yeah, that were it." No communication whatsoever. It was locked in. It was focused on playing the game. Usually, I'd have a 6-7 minute conversation with him.
Well, he's quite an enthusiastic chap, and we've seen him on the couch a few times working, as he said, talent for the likes of that FUT Champions Cup. Number 4 in Atlanta. We did a fantastic job there, but sometimes when you're in game mode, Richard,
you don't want to speak to people.
You don't want to speak to people, no. Get your headphones on, pick up that controller, and start playing FIFA knowing the way you can. Mbappe into R9, tried to do a heel twirl away from his man. Unfortunately, it was a heel twirl into team of the season, Leon Goretzka.
I like the change, bringing on team of the season, Eder Militao in at fullback.
Tell you what, Mbappe's through here. Can he find Ronaldo into the box? This is Nightwatch as far as the back post. Speaking of that defender, there he is. Kicks it straight back to the path of Eusebio, though.
Yeah, Eder Militao just doing what is in the team to do. I think he could potentially fill in that role as a left-back, given how the meta is looking. 96 acceleration. Not only that, 96 jumping, 96 aggression, the agility. He's got 93 agility. He's tall, he's physical, and he can also swivel. He can turn on a sixpence, can Eder Militao.
Which is a key thing. You know, at first we were a little bit hesitant on Van Dijk, you know, coming into teams. Was he too slow on the turn? Now he's a part of all the competitive teams, especially with the Player of the Year. He got that Premier League item and the Team of the Season. He's added to his collection of foot items this year. He's been picking up so many special items. There's no surprise that he is at the forefront of the back four. Did time it green, first one we've seen so far from AlanAvi. He's still in possession. Vieira out to Mbappe through the legs. Oh, he's gone to ground. Oh, it's going to be a penalty as well.
And AlanAvi just celebrated that penalty win like he'd won the game.
He's got to put it in the back of the net first, but he teased him. Ball went through the legs, and speak about Virgil van Dijk, maybe being a bit slow to turn. He was a bit too keen in the tackle there. Hullet steps up, goes down the middle, that's parried away. And this game still sits in a perfect position. 0-0, 60 minutes in.
Hangs in the balance. This game is on a thread right now. Penalty, stuck it down the middle. NightWatch kept his nerve, kept his bottle, and just stood up tall.
Oh no, towards the back post for Mbappe. Ramos does enough. Now Navi will come forward again. Maybe that's what this game needed, just to bring it alive. Look at that run. Is this the chance? AlanAvi, oh no! Yes! He finds a way through. He may have missed the penalty just minutes ago, but he played the through ball there. R9 was in time. He had loads of space. It wasn't even timed, I don't think. He just smashed it into the left-hand side of the goal, and next thing you know, he's 1-0 up.
The Vamos echoes around the arena. You saw that run from R9. He was just sort of peeling away from his arm, peeling away, and he had to time the pass perfectly. That's what almost the trickiest part of that attacking play, you'd say, was the pass. Had to time it perfectly. He threaded it through, R9 slotted it home, and changes right now coming out from NightWatch. Team of the Season, Havertz coming on at right mid. You'd say 6'2", fantastic pace, really good physicals. He can shoot as well. Might be playing into the back post cross meta, you could say, with Havertz coming on as a right mid.
Yeah, we saw all the formations for each player coming into the tournament today, and it was only NightWatch sitting at a 4-4-2. Everybody else playing could say the meta, the 4-2-3-1.
You saw a slight move to the right from Thibaut Courtois with the right analog stick, and it just sort of opened up the left-hand side. So it's Eusebio coming off, and another icon will be coming on for NightWatch.
And also the fact that it was one of those three icons that stepped up to put AlanAvi 1 goal up in this game. After that penalty miss, you've got to be thinking he's over the moon to put that one up. I've just seen Gareth Bale subbed on at left back, it seems, for NightWatch. So you could just see him at the bottom of your screen when the camera gets back onto him. Here's that man now, Havertz. Team of the Season, 95 overall. Does go out for a corner. This is NightWatch now. Where's this ball going to end up? Van Dijk's being controlled. He's going to be pulled away. Van Dijk will pick it up. And only go as far as David Aya's hands in the end.
Hullet just looking to tick this ball over now for AlanAvi. He got the goal, he got the all-important goal in this game. It's now in his hands, really. If he can keep hold of the possession and work another chance, he's in dreamland going into the second leg. Neymar played into CR7, timed it green, bodies behind the ball for NightWatch. And that's an audacious ball down the line, looking for CR7, but Van Dijk's always going to win that foot race.
And there was a chance, a half chance for R9, the goal scorer. That's the only goal in this game. Big switch to the Brazilian there. Going to lay it back to Van Dijk.
It looks like, from what I can see, AlanAvi got into a 5 at the back. Looks like Eder Militao playing as a right wing back right now. You can see that back 5 just sitting deep.
Here comes Ronaldo now. Play the one more for Nightwatch. He's just about done enough. Oh, he hasn't. It's going to be Cristiano Ronaldo and another untimed finish. Flies into the back of the net. After time, we're used to seeing that indicator flashing green and the ball, flying into the back of the net 2 times today. Hasn't happened.
Yeah, what a finish that is. I think it certainly looked like the type of goal that Ronaldo would score, but I think it might have been Havertz who actually picked that up on the right-hand side. Turning shot, it looks like the 5 at the back didn't work for him. Switching back into 4-2-3-1 now, Eusebio and Messi coming on.
Maybe right indeed, Rich. I know he was out on that right-hand side. Was Havertz, yeah. So it was Ronaldo that actually went down on the floor, and it's Havertz that...
First time.
Wow, curled that in. His first real touch in the game as well. How about that from the German? Not bad at all. 1-1 now. This game is straight back where it started. Technically 0-0.
Exactly what Nightwatch needed. Get back into this game before the second leg's even underway.
There is still a second leg to come. Let's not forget that. Another pause cue, this time AlanAvi. Just have a word on, he went 5 at the back. Naturally, you're going to invite more pressure. And that's kind of what happened.
Yeah, I feel like the 5 at the back, I don't want to say it's a little bit of a myth, but I feel like whenever people do go 5 at the back, unless you're Ajax Danny in FIFA 17, you don't see games out. You always seem to just be under the cosh.
Well, here's Ronaldo.
I think the best person that I've seen see a game out was Stefano Pina, where he goes 4-5-1, the second variation, and it's the 3 centre mids in a super tight group together. You can almost draw a circle around them. Them 3 sit really tight together. If you've got a Kante, a Hullet, and a Vieira in that 3, now you could put Goretzka in there as well. That's a very defensive 3. They'll drop back slightly as well.
And they'll just hang around the edge of the box as well. Exactly what your 2 CDMs were doing in a 4-2-3-1, but the difference is you've got 3 players doing that job in the 4-5-1. Will there be one more twist in this first half? It's Havertz, the goal scorer. Paqueta, or 2 or 3 from the team of the season variant. And just runs instead into the brick wall.
And I tell you what, Nightwatch done that a couple of times. Short goal kick to his fullback, and then just a punt, 60 yards, Hail Mary pass almost. Just getting his team all the way up the pitch, and he's finding Mbappe every time on this left-hand side. It's clearly something that he's identified at home. He can see that there's space in behind when he gets the goal kick like that. And it's worked for him a number of times, getting the players up the pitch and forcing attacks.
Again, we know what Nightwatch is all about, how he can break down a game. Oh no, here's Messi now. He's always known for turning up in a Champions League final.
No way, no way.
Wow. Eusebio. How did he not lock onto that second chance?
Recovery, tackle for the ages right there.
3 big opportunities in that game for AlanAvi. A penalty, the chance he scored, and then that one right at the death.
Courtois as well, going big for Nightwatch at the end there, just smothering the ball out of play. What a game. This game is so evenly poised.
The best thing is, Richard, we've still got 3 more quarterfinals to come up as well. This is going to be amazing to see. We're going to have a look at some of the highlights in a second from that, but the first leg does finish 1-1 all square, Richard, in the first quarterfinal. We expected a very tight, contested game with 2 players, breaking down each other's gameplay. And let's have a look now at the chances. That was the goal that he did score with R9.
There weren't a lot of clear-cut chances. In reality, in this game, you see that slight goalkeeper movement from Nightwatch. Just almost gave AlanAvi the side to the left. And then Havertz stepping up, super sub, off of the bench for Nightwatch, slotting it with his left foot into the top left corner. And 1-1, evenly poised. If we're on a seesaw right now, we're in the middle. We're not moving either side.
We've had a bit of movement, though. We've had a little bit of movement.
A little bit of sway, but we're back now.
We are back, indeed. And we are going to throw over to Kyle and Rachel now before we jump into the second leg of the quarterfinals.
Yeah, thanks, boys. It's really nice to actually get a feel of what it's like down here, because Kyle and I have been watching throughout, and Nightwatch has looked over at us a couple of times, shaking his head. He's not really happy with how things are unfolded. AlanAvi, they're looking to the sky when he just missed that really good opportunity just there. But it is the underdog who potentially is on the upper hand at the moment, Kyle.
It definitely is.
AlanAvi.
It is quite tense. This is what Alan said. He said, I definitely would consider myself as an underdog. Many people weren't expecting me to get here, but you got to start somewhere, and he definitely has started with a bit of a bang, because he's really going for it, and we can see that he's got Nightwatch on the ropes.
He did indeed, and I think maybe he might have the extra motivation as well that it was his dad's birthday 2 days ago. We'll have to see how the second leg unfolds, guys. Back to you in the casting area.
Yes, Rachel and Carl, thank you very much. And you hear that? It was, as Alan calls him, Pappy's birthday 2 days ago. What a treat that would be. Not just to see him go through to the semi-finals, but to go and do the impossible for a lot of these guys and to go and win the tournament. And
then the ultimate birthday weekend, Champions League final.
Tomorrow.
What a time to be alive. I want to talk a little bit about Nightwatch in this upcoming game. I got a little bit of an analogy for Nightwatch. The way that he plays FIFA.
Go on, hit me.
The way that he sort of breaks the game down. I don't know if you remember the late, great Steve Irwin. He'd spot something. He might spot a crocodile or an alligator or something like that. He'd address the problem. What's the areas that can be damaged, whether it be their tail, whether it be their teeth. He'd tie it up. He'd make sure he neutralises the threat. That's what Nightwatch does. Against Tex, what did he see? He's great with the ball out wide. He's great with the ball in areas where he's crossing to the back post, where he's doing skill moves out wide.
And what did he do?
4 centre-backs across the back 4. He sees the threat. He neutralises the threat. Dr. Nightwatch.
Exactly that. And hopefully, in his opinion, he will be able to do enough to get into the semi-finals, to be the first player into the Champions League semi-finals. Here in Madrid, the Champions League. What a tournament this is planning to be. The only free agent as well in the Final A. What he's doing for his, as we call it, competitive FIFA CV is amazing. He's in the top 60. He's looking forward to the playoffs at this moment in time. But what did he tell you, Richard? It's not about the money. The trophy, fantastic. The prestige, the pride, everything that comes with winning this tournament, fantastic. But I want those 850 Global Series ranking points to send me to the grand finals.
Yeah, put him in a fantastic position, about 1,900 to 2,000 points going in to the playoffs. He's just got to have a good performance at the playoffs. Doesn't even have to win it. Doesn't have to get into a semi-final. Just a good, get out of Swiss, make a round of 32, round of 16. And that's probably going to be enough to send him into the top 16. But in front of him is a plucky underdog in the form of AlanAvi.
Here we go. Second leg of our first quarter-final. AlanAvi from left to right again in that FC Dallas strip. Played in the MLS this year, made the MLS Cup. Unfortunately, they couldn't go the full way there. It was Giuseppe Castello and Dulstar that won their respective conferences. They played in the E-Nations Cup, representing the United States of America, but still a big season for him. And we talk about a transformation of a player. I don't know if you remember this, Richard. Remember when we saw him at the LQE in London quite a few months ago?
Yep.
He turned up with a 4-1-2-1-2. Very narrow formation. And went out 0-3 straight away in Swiss. Went out of the competition. Day one was no day two for him, Championship Sunday, and he learnt from that experience. He travelled all that way over from America. And what did he learn from it? I need to play at a different level. I need to play a different formation. I need to use certain players in certain areas.
He quickly realised that what he's doing and having success with in the EMLS doesn't transition to maybe a European style or a rest of the world.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Patrick Vieira, of all people, popping up. We normally talk about the two CDMs of Hullet and Vieira linking up. Oh, no! Vamo! And a huge Vamo from AlanAvi as he goes back in front. 2 goals to 1 up. Just as I was saying, Hullet to Vieira.
Yeah.
Vieira nearly scores.
The CDM partners linking up right there for AlanAvi. I was just going to talk about Courtois. What a save that was as well from Patrick Vieira. Maybe making a claim to be getting back into a number of players' teams as we wind down to the end of the season. R9 leaping up. It's not Cristiano Ronaldo, it's his namesake. What a header, leaping.
You mentioned about Thibaut Courtois. Unfortunately, his hands were waving there as the ball went over his left paw, and it will be R9. He was the first goal scorer in the first leg, and he's done it again in the second leg, but even earlier for the North American. AlanAvi 2-1 up in this game. All to do for Dr. Nightwatch.
I spoke about the first leg, maybe being a bit tetchy, maybe being a bit nervous this second leg right now. You play the first leg not to lose, almost, not to go in with a 3 or 4 goal deficit. So you've got something to play for in this second leg.
You can see the numbers behind the ball. For AlanAvi, just one man forward, and that's the goal scorer of R9. Just sitting around that semicircle area.
The drop back is real right now.
Hullet on that finesse that he did originally score from with Havertz. Corner comes in, Ronaldo's there. It's going to be Rafael Varane, who actually does leap up and score, and it's pretty much the same finish as we just saw 5 minutes ago.
I hope we get to see the replay back from this, because Rafael Varane manhandles his player in the box.
Well, it's Neymar. He originally takes an early jump, somehow still keeps his balance, and then beats the likes of Ruud Gullit to the ball in the air as well. That team of the year, Rafael Varane.
Powering header, sending Nightwatch back into a level game.
Rafael Varane.
I said this game could be...
You said it.
If there's any game that's going to go to penalty shootouts out of the 4 quarter-finals, I think it's going to be this one.
We know how 2 legs of FIFA can really look this year, whether it's in Swiss or whether it's in straight knockout tournaments, especially like the eChampions League final. The second leg is always going to be, for us, more goals, I'd say. There always seems to be more goals in the second leg of a big knockout match. Because your first leg, you're nervous. You're naturally nervous. You're not, I wouldn't say you're warming up, but you're getting into your flow. Second leg, you know what you're doing.
It's almost that... You know you have to perform in the second leg. You see it all the time. The most successful player this season, Tex, most of the time in the first leg, he'll either go trailing or he'll go 1-0, 2-1, very tight scoreline. In the second leg, how many times have we seen him score 5 and just blow the other person away?
Eusebio now lofted it into the likes of Cristiano Ronaldo, who we know is a very dangerous player in the air. Went out for a goal kick, which will be played short to Rafael Varane, who's in at right back over Sergio Ramos.
And this right now, 2-2, coming into half-time in 15 minutes. This is where the coaches...
Watch out.
Really sort of earn their keep, you'd say. This is where lyrics gets in his ear for Nightwatch. You've seen it, you see a... Oh! What a strike
really?
That was. You see an FC Dallas representative with AlanAvi. This is where that person watching over the game with a fresh pair of eyes really gives their insight onto the match. Oh, he's played it differently this time, the goal kick.
Played it short, and he's lost possession straight away for Nightwatch. It was Neymar that nearly put that one away. Neymar's going to get a second chance. Straight into Maldini, and Mbappe on the turn. Van Dijk matches that one up as well.
I was praising him for the goal kick, how he's done it multiple times, played out to the fullback and then hit that long ball straight down the line, just like we've seen right there.
Needs someone in the box though, does Neymar.
Nightwatch is channeling his inner Sam Allardyce right now. Long balls, getting down the lines, getting balls into the box.
Watch out, Ronaldo's there. So's Gullit. He takes the shot with Gullit and does pull out a huge save from De Gea. Corner again, everything's really quick, 100 miles an hour it seems. There's the scoop. Parried away by De Gea, no one's really there to win it. This is a chance to counter-attack.
There's just nobody really going forward for AlanAvi right there. Looking at the mini-map, he had maybe 2 shirts. Nightwatch, 4 white shirts back.
He's just offside. Mbappe does so well to recycle it with Cristiano Ronaldo, who gets dispossessed, unfortunately, straight away for him. It's not a bad pass there from Ronaldo. He's going to find Neymar. Or not.
Again, Eder Militao making a claim for the competitive scene to be one of those back 4 going forward into the playoffs, into the grand final. Even further in this competition, the squads might have been submitted, but 23 players. I'd probably put Eder Militao on my reserves just in case I see other players playing well with him. I can then sub in him throughout the game.
Well, we have seen how certain pros can change the way you play competitive FIFA, the players that you use. We saw even the likes of Ruud Gullit at left back occasionally. Obviously, that didn't stick.
I think it would stick, and I think if we had no squad rules, I think you'd see more Gullit at left back. But because nobody has got that team of the year Ronaldo, and you're lacking a little bit going forward in the attacking areas, you're not using team of the year Neymar, you're using one of your team of the year players on Mbappe, but you don't really have that attacking sort of really direct back post cross, back post cross. The only person you can do that to is Ronaldo. So you can get away with a Danny Da Costa at right back.
So now, I nearly found that ball into Mbappe. Added time of 3 minutes has been played. And we go into half-time in this second leg. All square again, 2-2. It was 2 opening goals in the opening 30 minutes in this match. R9 scoring again for AlanAvi. And there was another header from Rafael Varane from another corner.
I think going back to the Hullet at left-back debate as well, with the squad rules that are implied on this event, Hullet is a much more influential centre midfielder than he is left-back. When you've got, you can bring in another Mateus in midfield, or you can bring in another icon or another team of the year player into midfield, you can then sacrifice Hullet at left-back. But when you've only got 3 icons, are you going to waste one of your icons playing full-back? Unless you're playing against a back post cross merchant and you know that they're going to go for that every single time they get it out wide, then you might do it. But if not, you're wasting the talent of Hullet at left-back.
You are indeed. And, you know, speaking of some of those themes that some players do look towards and they do copy it as such, it's been the Ramos at right-back is probably the biggest thing this year that a few players did originally, then people questioned it. Is it the right thing to do? And now it's just common.
Your 3 icons, who would you be plucking for? Because for me, I think I'd go 1 defender, 1 midfielder, 1 attacker. Maldini, Hullet, R9.
I see that. I definitely see that. As you know, a lot of players have gone for Vieira. They have gone for Hullet, and 9 times out of 10 they've gone for R9. But with the ability of mixing in, you know, Champions League for items, Team of the Year for items, as NightWatch comes forward, we'll continue that conversation in a minute. Off the post and into the side netting within the opening 2 minutes of this second half. But I'd have to agree with you there. I think if you can pull in a strong icon in defence, which we've seen from Maldini, NightWatch again, not giving me any time to talk here, and he can see it. Was that come off his own player? Oh, it took a deflection off someone else, it seemed. Played short to Maldini on the volley. Wow.
Not only does the icon defender bring in like a Maldini or a Rio Ferdinand, but the chemistry that they then give to everybody else, you're guaranteed an orange link to every other player across that back 4 and into the midfield. If you've got a Maldini, you might be able to use an Italian player if you want to. If you're using Rio Ferdinand or Laurent Blanc across the back 4, you're then bringing in French players, you're getting strong links, less chemistry needed.
And plus, you know, with the beauty of the icons, you have got that natural extra few digits of chemistry, which can be connected to a lot of players from all over the world, but you can match one up with a nation even better. Speaking of Maldini, though, as we know, NightWatch is using him. Oh, that's too heavy. You're thinking Neymar, latch onto that.
Yeah, if he'd just got that under control.
That's a little bit risky. Ronaldo can normally win that in the air. He's not going to win that one, though.
So I've been very impressed by Eder Militao in at fullback for AlanAvi. I wouldn't be surprised to see more players utilise him there.
Can Neymar win his running race? He did win it, but the ball out after wasn't great. Seems like we're just playing through balls at the moment. Everybody seems so open at the back. Ronaldo play it over Ramos.
That pass right there from NightWatch, cutting through the defence.
Into the box, Eusebio's there. He goes down. Penalty shouts waved away. It was time green if he got any contact on it. It's actually Ruud Hullet that won it in the air, though. Hullet, Mbappe. Eusebio once again waiting for it as Ramos switches from right to left. The great thing is you can see both players' coaches right behind them. The rules for that is they can speak to them in between the legs of each match. Overlay any information they need to. Neymar, he's timed it yellow, and that's exactly why it's just gone wide.
The magnitude of this event. A pro player at the eChampions League quarterfinals.
Oh no, that's another mistake from NightWatch. Watch out for Hullet. Hullet's going to get it, and he's going to put it into the back of the net. You were about to say it, Richard. At this level, you don't make mistakes. Time finishes, misplaced passes. Look no further.
He didn't even risk it. He didn't even risk the times right there. It just backed Hullet. Backed the icon, the best icon probably in the game, to do the business for him. A shake of the head from Lyrics, a shake of the head from NightWatch. He's come back every other time. He's had to. He's thinking about Havertz. You
see that? He's clicked him about 3 times there. Do I change him? Do I add him on? No, I haven't.
He brought Bale on. Bale's going to be...
He's got R9 sitting on the bench as well, but if he has to take off an icon for that, it would be Eusebio that would probably come off, unless he puts another attacking player on. But do you really want to be missing out on the likes of Ruud Hullet?
I'll tell you what, in that 4-2-2.
You can see he's thinking about it. It's going to be Ronaldo that comes on for Eusebio, and that's the 2 changes that he does make.
Yeah, it's always got, if you're bringing an icon onto the pitch, you have to bring an icon off of the pitch. 3 players, 3 icon variants at a time are the max that you can have on the pitch. You're seeing Havertz and Ronaldo introduced.
He's still in that 4-4-2.
Can Havertz do the business for Nightwatch again with 25 minutes left in the quarterfinals?
Well, he's only a goal behind, Richard. If he does get that, we will be going to extra time. No away goals here. Extra time, and if we need it, penalties. Another pause cue by AlanAvi, seconds after he's probably seen the changes that Nightwatch has made. Ronaldo still in possession somehow. The man from Madeira to be a hit. Timed it green, timed to perfection. And once again, smashed into the back of the net from Cristiano Ronaldo. AlanAvi speechless, he's asking questions, and he's straight back into a pause with another change now in front of us.
Cristiano Ronaldo.
You said 25 minutes to get a goal back, Richard.
It took him 3,
yeah,
straight from kickoff. CR7, dancing with the ball at his feet. Couple of step overs, in and out. And just smashing it past the goalkeeper. No mistake that time with the time finishing. And yet again, Nightwatch coming from behind to get himself back into this game. And now, this is the exact same formation that he was using against Tex in Bucharest. Last week, so we were looking at that 5 at the back. He was trying to find out how he could get his fullbacks bombing on as well and sort of get the overlapping runs as well from the fullbacks, forcing the crosses and the movement out wide. That ball roll.
It was enough.
That was a key defining moment, really, because he weren't really going anywhere. The step overs, they were just moving around the box, but the ball roll opened up the space for the shot. Such a simple skill move to execute, and yet it's so effective in the game.
Number 4, Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, it was Ronaldo that kind of tripped onto the ball, but still, it was somehow latched onto him. And it was a few ball rolls that opened up a pocket of space, and that's all that Cristiano Ronaldo needs, as we know from how clinical he's been. Not just throughout the competitive year this year, but so many years. Ever since the Champions has been introduced. The man from Madeira steps up once again and puts this game back in the perfect place it can be. All square, 3-3. 15 minutes or just over left. Or will we be going to extra time in our first quarter-final of the day? There's Mbappe on the left-hand side. I think he's just onside. Yes, he is. The Frenchman will drive down the left-hand side. A ball roll into a basic fake shot through the legs. He got fortunate there. Cricketta or 2 into the finish. Corner to come in. R9, he's fresh, but you probably want him in the box. Mbappe back to R9. Who's going to be taking this shot? Who's going to be taking that risk at goal? Team of the season, Goretzka, maybe? No.
He's trying to set up the volley just on the edge of the box. You saw him ping the ball into Maldini.
R9 dragged back into a kind of half scoop turn.
That area right there is such a difficult area to defend because you're tentative. You're very, very almost shy to jump into a tackle because you saw the penalty that Nightwatch gave away. There's not a lot of contact there at all. It's just a coming together between 2 players in the game.
And to think he actually missed that penalty as well, Richard, is quite a big shot from AlanAvi because he could have been 4-3 up if that goes in, but you never know how the rest of the game is going to go. Messi. Unfortunately, won't be a final this year for him with Barcelona in the Champions League.
Very scrappy, and he's on a corner.
Such an important player when it comes to competitive FIFA. More of a sub now. Pull it all the way to the back post. Gretz is going to win that one in the air. Into the last 10 minutes now. Probably about a minute or so away from extra time if we need to go there. Or will there be a last-minute winner? Havertz there, fouled and plays straight back to Mbappe. He's going to lunge in with Van Dijk.
He knew he had to give that foul away.
And Van Dijk goes into the book. AlanAvi's calling for a red card. I can tell by that reaction it's just going to be a yellow.
Trying to get the game underway just a little bit too frantic from Nightwatch. And he knew as soon as that ball got away from him, he just brought him down. The ball goes past, the man doesn't.
30 yards away. Ronaldo's over. He's going to lay it out to Eusebio, who's going to be taking this shot or that chance at goal. Hullet, be careful, do not let the ball. Somehow just rebound back off to a striker. It's so risky in the back. It's going to fall to Hullet. He just about deals with it. But how many times, how many chances are you going to be able to...
He's latched onto that.
Risk playing the ball from right to left. Havertz now. Into Ronaldo, probably the last chance of the game for Nightwatch. R9, unbelievable defending from Ramos just to stand up and to stick a leg in when he needed to. Added time of 3 minutes. AlanAvi, has he got enough time left to drive forward and create one more attack?
Last chance saloon for AlanAvi. The ball's gone away.
The ball just slipped his hands. Minute left. Is he going to be able to really get this ball forward, or will it be a mistake from Nightwatch at the back?
I tell you what, Nightwatch has rode his luck right there. 3 or 4 mistakes.
He's going to get one more attack though, Rich. He's going to get one more cross. 3 accelerated, 4 accelerated fake shots. And into extra time. Wow. This is only our first quarter-final of the day.
Nightwatch looks spent right now.
He needs a break. He needs longer than 45 seconds.
The thing is, he doesn't need us to tell him about the mistakes. He knows. As soon as he's switching that ball, he knows. But it's so risky. When I was playing football, that's called a hospital pass. When you pass it across the back foot like that.
And you get moaned at for playing that one.
You're out of the team. You're getting brought off.
If you concede from it, even worse. He knows it as well, though, as you said. He knows he's made those mistakes, but it's how many times can you switch it from right back to left back? We saw, some players do it before, and yes, it can work for keeping possession or just recycling the play from side to side, but you're going to get caught out of it, especially if you're up against a player that can press as well as AlanAvi can. And we're going into extra time. The score, 3-3 on aggregate. 6 goals we have seen in our first eChampions League quarter-final.
This is just the start. This is the first of 4
quarter-finals. 30 more minutes in front of us. Surely not a penalty shootout. I know we're a long, long way away from that.
A lot of FIFA left to play before we do get to the dreaded spot kicks, but I wouldn't put it past them to have to go to penalties.
Well, here we go. Extra time is going to be needed to separate these two. 30 minutes of it. AlanAvi from left to right in this first 15.
Yeah, just looking for a nice little Berber spin out wide there. Again, Nightwatch is happy to play it long.
Well, he's playing to Havertz that's only been playing for about 30 minutes. He was subbed on about the 60th minute mark. That team of the season for Item played into another team of the season for Leon Goretzka. We saw him last year at the FIFA E-World Cup Grand Finals. Was quite an influential player for a few pros.
I think all the team of the seasons that we've seen so far have been more than worthy of being in these event level teams. Goretzka, Havertz, Eder Militao, they've all done a job in their respective positions. Whether they'll stay going into the playoffs, into the grand final, that's another question. But for this eChampions League finals, they're all more than worthy to be in the squads.
We saw what he looked for there, Rich. He looked for that left foot of Havertz on that finesse. Because he did score from it in the first game, but I think the angle was just slightly too ambitious on that occasion. Plus, once again, wasn't timed. I don't know what we're on about when we say timed. We're looking for the timed green finish. If it is flashing green when you hit it, normally means go, normally means perfection with the shot at least. And there's the height of Thibaut Courtois coming into use. Only to give away a corner, though. Ronaldo to Havertz.
It's better from Nightwatch.
Very composed to play around the box, but this time it works out for him. Gareth Bale, one of the substitutes in that second half that came on and is sitting at left back at the moment. Who will be the player to break the deadlock? Can R9 get round there? Just scoops it away with a tackle. And he's offside anyway, so that's not going to matter. We've nearly played one half of this extra time.
Yeah, I was about to say, not a lot to write home about in this first half of extra time. AlanAvi, a couple of chances, but half chances really. Crosses to the back post. Nightwatch really not done a lot in the opening 15.
And this game is worth $15,000 extra and a semi-final spot. You win this, so you go up from the allocation of 15,000 that you've already secured for getting to this event up to 30,000 as you make it into the last 4. What's the keeper doing here? David De Gea just inside his area.
Yeah, read it quite well, to be honest, David De Gea. 'Cause again, that long, ambitious, looping ball down the line. It's been working for Nightwatch so far.
There's going to be one bit of magic or a mistake that's going to make this game explode. And it's going to be a one goal. It's all going to be. It's just going to be one goal.
I don't think it. I think it's.
You think it's going to penalties?
Yeah.
Well, this 15 minutes needs to be slightly more exciting, especially from what we've just seen there. Really no chances between each player. Here we go. We can see some changes being made on the left-hand side of the screen. This is Nightwatch. He's pretty much finished it.
Still in that 4-4-2, yeah. No other substitutes really coming on for Nightwatch. AlanAvi still in the 4-2-3-1. No need to change. He's never been losing in this match.
He's always been leading. He's never been behind, yeah.
It's another
awful mistake, Maldini.
Just trying to switch the ball, and don't know if his analog stick maybe a little bit sweaty, maybe a little bit. The accuracy has not been there a couple of these passes. I'm sure it'll be something that he'll address if he was to go through Nightwatch.
Will there be a breakthrough in extra time? 3-3 they sit at the moment in the eChampions League quarterfinals. Who will be the first player to book a semi-final spot? Havertz into R9, Ruud Gullit!
He had time. He could have even moved it across to the left-hand side as well.
Does win a corner. As far as the edge of the box now. Trying to line up a shot. Someone get in the right area. Whether it's a finesse or from distance or trying to tease a tackle. Well, he's just pushed over there completely, and Goretzka will get a word from the referee.
Yeah, just bullet him over there. In this left-hand side there.
8 minutes left.
I'm not too sure with Nightwatch from these corners because he's scored one. Yet he's still reluctant to put it in the box. He wants to play short. He wants to look for a volley on the edge.
Goretzka wins that battle. Shoulder to shoulder with his man. Watch for the runners. R9's making a run.
He's got a lot of natural height.
As well.
He's got a lot of natural height in his team. Bale, Havertz, Goretzka, Ronaldo.
Ronaldo to Mbappe, into Havertz! That could be your winner! He's been looking for it a number of times throughout these two legs. Gets it into that team of the season variant that is just sitting out on the right-hand side of the midfield at the moment. Get it around the edge of the box, look for that left foot, and he's done it once again. Is that enough to send you into the semi-finals?
Havertz. What an addition to the squad for Nightwatch. I saw a lot of people talking about him online in the weekend league. I think Shells were using him. He said, yeah, it feels better than Cristiano Ronaldo in some aspects. Team of the season, Havertz. He's costing like 2-3 million coins right now on Ultimate Team. He's free to use right now. Use him. He's one of the best players in all areas. He's tall, he's strong, he can shoot, he's got pace, he's got dribbling. He's got a hell of a left foot, which has fired Nightwatch for the first time. And coming up on, what, 200 minutes of FIFA into the lead.
Wow. Said all those things that he has got. He's got a match winner inside him as well. It's going to be Havertz that steps up, and he will be playing in a centre midfield role now. 5 at the back for Nightwatch. Can he see this game out? AlanAvi, no. We know he can just change a game. A split of a second. He's made a few changes. You saw he was out of substitutes, though, Richard.
He wanted to bring Son on, and he would just use his allocated subs already. 5 at the back for Nightwatch. So we have one chance for AlanAvi.
Can he break down this defensive wall that Nightwatch has just sat in front of Thibaut Courtois in his net? And I'm sure right now, we've been picking out a few times the mistakes he's been making from switching it left to right, and the chances he's had when he's nearly conceded from those basic mistakes. Now, I'm sure he will not be repeating any of them now. Added time of 2 minutes, seconds away from being the first semi-finalist in what has been a fantastic quarter-final to get this show under the road.
Yeah, commiserations for AlanAvi. He was a fantastic competitor, but in the end, it's Nightwatch going through. He led one time in the entirety of the 2 legs, and it was the winning goal. Havertz, 4-3 victory. We needed extra time, and what a performance. He didn't play well. He didn't play well, but he got through.
He knows it as well, but he got the job done. That's $15,000 extra into his pocket now. You can see him there. He goes through, the first player into the semi-finals, and as you said,